Hey guys, Mike Bland here with SIS Global Investigations. Was talking to a friend yesterday, and we were talking about different content for videos as a private investigator. I'm gonna build up to having some monetized instructional videos on how to become a private investigator later on. Right now, today, I'm going to cover some signs of a cheating spouse and build some video content. Kind of take a break from the reviewing the Idaho murder case and take a breather from that topic and pass on some information that a lot of people are curious about. So, signs of a cheating spouse, I would say top signs in today's world because of electronic communications, cell phones, computers, social media. Most of the times people have hired me, they have intercepted messages, photos, emails, text messages, whatever, by those, through all those, different means. The most common thing is going to be people's cell phones because that's what they're always carrying. That's what they're always using. There's hidden apps. There's all kinds of stuff. They could be texting, emailing, chatting through game chat rooms, Instagram, Reddit, Twitter, Facebook. I mean, the list goes on. So there's numerous dating sites. There's dating sites for having affairs. There's tons of different places. And so the problem with that also is that if they're taking great measures to hide that stuff, then you're simply never going to find it anyways. On top of the fact, the person can have a burner phone, which I've also discovered doing many private investigations. But as far as the basics goes, if you're in a relationship, serious, married, engaged, whatever, the person has a passcode on the phone, closely guards the phone, only talks on the phone when they're in the bathroom or outside or texting. Anything at all where they're being secretive. If you're hiding something, then you're hiding something. Simple as that. So, that's really the thing on the cell phones. Computers, really all the same aspects applies. As far as other signs, going out, let's say if, just use a woman in this case, because since I'm a guy, if the woman is, all of a sudden taking up more interest in their physical appearance, working out, losing weight, makeup, perfume, shopping, buying lingerie, things that are a little more obvious, seeing visits to certain hotels. When you obviously were not with the person, that's a pretty big red flag, and that there's something majorly wrong going on. And also if the person did not tell you about that. Road trips, going out with their friends all of a sudden, another really big red flag, or for some people even a deal breaker, person not coming home at all, going out partying, and then of course maybe even using that thing of hey, they were drinking, they couldn't come home. You can always still get an Uber or some type of drive, or person could go pick them up. The point is, you pretty much know there's something wrong, and then there's all these things that they're doing that are just totally out of the norm for this person. Being defensive, not really wanting to, spend time doing things. Sometimes they will actually start talking about a new guy friend they met in their circle, or even they're hanging out with them. Might say it's a workout partner, or it's a guy friend that's hanging out in their group of friends. All these things apply, whether it's as a guy or a woman. Again, for the sake of confusion, I'm just using women in this example. I also clear up another big misconception. People have always asked me, who cheats more, men or women? I can answer that like this. Every time I've caught a man cheating, he was with somebody's wife or girlfriend. Every time I caught a woman cheating, she was with somebody's husband or fiance. So do the math. Finding obvious tangible evidence, used condoms, used sex toys or things used during sex, finding someone else's clothing, someone else's underwear, bras, t-shirts, items left behind that you are clearly from the opposite sex and clearly don't belong to your spouse. Them sometimes accusing you of things all the time. So the list goes on and on. You know, sometimes the person too, the cheaters, I've found, will actually watch the person even more so that is not doing anything. So as far as the signs of cheating, there are thousands, but again, it's usually the top 5 or 10 most common that are usually noticed. And you know, or if you do confront the person or ask them, they get very hostile, defensive, walk out of the room. Sometimes an innocent person can become very mad and aggravated, but also if you get on a certain topic of which you already believe something's happening, and they get very defensive and fly out of the room. Or if you're holding or hugging that person and you're like in a close, intimate situation, and then you bring up something like this, and then they break contact with you and push away and become very defensive, it's because they are extremely uncomfortable at that point in time, because they're lying, their heart rate then goes up, parasympathetic nervous system, breathing increases, blood pressure, things that is impossible for the human body to really control, unless this person is a total psychopath and has no feelings or emotions or conscience. So another thing that's a very big indicator I've seen numerous times is that when you also tell someone, hey, like, you know, your girlfriend, hey, you know, why do you keep going to the gym with this one guy and working out, for example? And her response is something like, well, you're always talking to this waitress when we go to this one restaurant, where they instantly shoot back with like an accusation of some kind. So what they're doing is called a tacit admission of guilt. And because they didn't address, you know, oh, wow. Sorry about that. Gigantic airplane flying over here. That's the blessing of having ADHD. So they instantly shoot back with a quick accusation. And so what they just did, again, it's called tacit admission of guilt. They did not deny what you just said. They didn't even entertain it. They just accused you back of something. So what they said was, yes, I'm doing this. I'm doing something wrong, but I'm doing it because you're doing this. Again, that's a tacit admission of guilt. A tacit admission of guilt is when someone literally admits guilt and they don't even realize they just did it. So again, you know, I have been doing this investigations for 26 years. I'm going to start pumping out a list of these videos on numerous topics. So again, on the signs of cheating. And again, there's your gut. When you think something's wrong, there's usually something wrong. All right, guys, stay tuned.